Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Rhonda, and you are on the Sports Card Queen channel. Good evening, everybody. I want to just grab your attention for like 3 minutes, please, if I could. So I heard this thing was coming out. It's a brand new website that's called Snype. And the Snype website is very, very similar to eBay. We're talking low fees, 5% fees. Not only that, you can actually enter an auction on eBay like you would on any other card or any other item that you might be hunting for. I believe right now, Rick is saying it's cards and collectibles. Not unsure about all the niches he's going to be covering in the site, but it's new and it is going live in November, I believe, around Thanksgiving time. So, being an eBay seller myself for over 15 years, I think I actually started in 2009. I was selling home goods, and then in 2011, I got super stoked about sports cards. Not going to go into that story now, but I've been selling on eBay ever since then. I've tried a couple other sites. I did try Whatnot. Unless you have a super large following on Whatnot, you only have a few followers, it's really hard to get a lot of momentum. If you have time for that, kudos to you. But I'd just rather show my card and on eBay and have more eyes on it. That's what I'm used to. So, when I first started out with eBay, the structure for the fees was completely different than what it is today. Fast forward 2025, we're at 14%. 14%. So, with that being said, now that Rick Probstein is going to be coming out with a brand new website, the Snype program says that you're going to get only a 5% fee instead of 14% with eBay, which that definitely grabbed my attention. And I was really excited and said, oh my gosh, I'm going to take everything out of my store on eBay and I'm just going to transfer it over there as soon as November comes around. And I'm not even going to, I mean, I could pull some cards until then, but then I heard the interview a little bit more. Now, see, this is what happens when you listen and not just watch a YouTube video. You really have to listen. So Dustin, Sports Card Dad, asked him some very, very important questions, which kudos to you, Dustin. It was a great interview, wonderful interview. And Rick was a little tossy-turvy with his replies, with his answers. So I caught him in a couple of, how can I say this without calling him out, controversial statements that he made. Okay, first of all, I just want to let you know this. Anything that you sell that's under $25, you're going to get hit with a 15% fee. So that's 1% fee above eBay. Number two, any cards between $25 and $9.99, up to $25 to $999, the fee is 5%. Anything over 1,000 is 3%, which is even better. But do you have a lot of cards that are worth over $1,000 in your collection? I know a lot of people in this hobby, and a lot of them do, and I would have to say the majority doesn't. Okay, so I thought that was great. And they, so in other words, they're discouraging the small sales. So if you have any cards that are under $25, why would you want to pay the 15% to Snype and not eBay? Well, that would make no sense. And then if you are bidding in an auction and your increments go over to I think below $99, you can jump into, I think it's $1 or maybe $5. I know with eBay, it jumps from, say you're bidding on something for $40, you can go to $42. And then the next person go to $44 and so forth. So, and then once the auction's done with eBay, it's done. That's it. Time. There's no, what do they call it? Extended bidding, which I don't like extended bidding. I think it's unfair. Just like an auction. Once the timer is out, the timer is done. That's it. You're done. Well, with this here, if you have a card that you want, you can put in your max bid that you want, and hopefully somebody bids under you. However, any increments over the $100, it jumps to 10. So the next person will do 110, so you don't have any other choice but to bid on 120. If that's what you want to do on that card, then so be it. But if that's going to start busting your budget, then you might want to think about that. Somebody else comes in at 120, your only option is to do 130. Once you get to, I believe, 1,000, I think it goes into $25 increments. So instead of 1,000, it goes to 25. Then the next person bids 1,050. Then you have no choice but to bid 1,075. So this seems like you don't have any control over the dollar. He has full control over this. Now, we're not talking, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. There's also Snype bids, which it's the same thing as Whatnot. Same thing with Whatnot. If you like something, and the auction starts, you just slide the button back and forth, and it just keeps going and going and going until the timer goes out. So whoever swipes last is the winner. So same thing as the Whatnot. So to me, Snype is a combination, a merging of eBay and Whatnot at the same time. That's what it is. Okay, so let's just digress my excitement, okay? Because let me tell you what the cons are now. Okay, let me tell you what the cons are. First of all, the 5% is only an introductory offer. It's only introductory offer, so I don't know how long it's going to last. And they're only going to let people who have credibility in the shopping community. They're going to do a little bit more investigating on your background. So if you only have maybe a 2-star rating on eBay, they may not let you bid on a certain higher end item. So I'm not sure if you have to have a record with them already. They said anybody who has an existing record with Probstein and you have bought high-end cards with them, then your application process to sell will go a lot faster. So I would have to say that a lot of the smaller sellers are going to have a problem with that. I don't know how they're going to end up working that out. However, if you are denied, then consider yourself lucky, because unless you're selling cards over $1,000, then why would you even bother? So the people that I talk to in this hobby, we're not playing with 1,000 or more cards. I know none of the people that I talk to in the community really are. So let's just normalize this thing. So this is not something that's going to save you any money at all. The worst part about it, I'm on 8 minutes already. I only wanted to do 5. The worst part about it is I'm going to tell you this right now. This is the worst. And I hope you're still here. I hope you're still here. Okay, so the extended bidding, let's fast forward. So, okay, the extended bidding, okay, if you jump in at, say, 110 and someone types in 120, the extended bid goes for 15 seconds and that's it. 15 seconds and that's it. So it doesn't just keep going on and on. Every time somebody bids 110, 120, it goes to extended bidding. At least I don't think so. Anyways, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of feedback. A lot of feedback about it when it starts. I believe the opening date is, what they say, November 23rd. Is that what Rick said? And I don't know what it is about something about that guy. I don't know. He just doesn't look trustworthy. I mean, are you getting that same vibe? He just doesn't look trustworthy to me. So the thing that really bothered me the most was that you get to chat with your fellow auctioneers, your buddies, the ones that you are bidding against. So say, for instance, You want that, we'll just say Josh Allen rookie card. Josh Allen. I didn't say Tom Brady, I said Josh Allen, but I don't want him. I could talk about Tom Brady forever. So say, for instance, you see a Josh Allen rookie card and the bidding starts at $50. All right, so you're going to go in and you're going to bid the $50 on the card, and then someone is going to come in and bid 55. That's how the increments go. Like I said, I'm not really sure about that, but I know the increments do jump from a $5 to a $10 to a $25. So you can kind of already can tell where I'm going with that. So next thing you know, someone will come in and bid $55. Well, you can actually talk to that person while you're bidding. So say Jack comes on and says, "Hi, Rhonda. I see that you're bidding on this Josh Allen card." And I go, "Yeah, it was pretty nice, huh? What do you think about the corners and the edges? Would you grade it? Or is that your favorite player? Who's your favorite team? Who you calling from? I mean, is this going to be an ASL type of thing? I don't even know how that's going to work." So there's a box so you can chat with your fellow auctioneers. And I'm thinking, why would I want to do that? But then, if you, in the video of Sports Card Dad, thank you very much, and I will put his YouTube channel in the show notes so that you can go there over to his channel and see it. So, he says, Rick himself said that, oh yeah, you can chat with the community. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a friendly community auction. You can't do that on eBay, can you? Well, technically you can, because that's what the message button's for. Who has not got a message from a buyer for something that you're selling on eBay? Even if it's not sports cards, everybody's gotten messages. You can talk that way. But the chat will be visible to everybody to see. Everybody. This is the problem that I have with that. He even says, and I believe it was at the 5-minute mark, 5 minutes and 10 seconds, somewhere around there, he says, "Oh, it's really great." He says, you know, that way here, just say, for instance, that we were selling a Michael Jordan Flair 1996 card. You could have somebody going in there, if it's a PSA 10, somebody else who knows a lot about that card might just jump in and say, you know what, that's crazy. That's a PSA 10 Jordan. You know, in 10 years, they're going to stop grading that card. So that card's going to go up in value in 5 to 10 years. I really think that what the asking price is pretty low, which in turn, Rick does say in the video that would probably make the buyer want to increase their bid a little higher. So there you go. So is that shill? Is that some type of shill bidding? Do I know Jack? No, I don't know Jack. So say John Bobson, and he starts talking about the card too, and he's beefing up and hyping up the card and saying, "Are you kidding me? In 15 years, that card, now that it's at, say, we'll just say $1,050, that card's going to blow up. In the next 10 days before the auction ends, there's no way. Whoever gets that card's going to be lucky, because in 15 to 20 years, that card's going to be 30, 35,000. And I'm definitely bidding on it. I already have my max bid in. That's what you're going to hear. So, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I think there is slightly something wrong with that. Like I said, I don't know Jack, and I don't know John, and I'm supposed to take their word for it. So, there are some people out there in the hobby says that it's okay to go ahead and chase cards, okay, and get into this hobby, but just be careful. Make sure you're not overpaying for these cards like you would possibly on Whatnot and eBay, and again, with the brand new website called Snype. So Rick Probstein, I believe you're just doing it again. And even in Sports Card Dad's video towards the end, he monkey quarterbacks and goes back and says something different that he said in the beginning of the video. So if you want to watch the whole video, go ahead, do yourself a treat. It's about 35 minutes long, but it was a really good interview. And now I know I'm not going to join it. There's no membership fee at all, but all I know is that this girl is going to stay with eBay whether I like their fees or not. And they didn't talk about what if the items get lost in shipping. Probably should have asked that question. What are you going to do if the items get lost in shipping? So I don't know the answer to that, but if I do, you guys let me know. Okay, thank you so much for watching me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you next week. I'll be back next week. All right, everybody have a great night. Thanks for listening to me. And remember, watch out. Not what you hear is always the truth.